Hey, so it's Ron, and I'm here with
Yaroslav.
And again, we're going to do a little SharePoint talk. So I was just talking to Yaroslav, and I was saying I have a friend who works at an architect firm, and they need to be able to share their shop drawings with their clients. And they have a little SharePoint that they use internally, and they have it locally in-house. Mm-hmm. But now, for every project that they do with their clients, they want to be able to share those files. And I just want to give them a quick example here. The document library at this friend's architect firm, the way they've set up, like, ignoring SharePoint for a sec, they go the year, and then they have like A, B, C, and under C they might have company, co, so they have all the C companies under C, and then D, and they go like that, and then they have a 2011, and then when they're finished with prior year's stuff, they just archive it and take it off the computer, and then they keep before they archive it, they copy, paste it, rename it, and they have the old files there, and then they start new projects for the companies within there. So at this company level, let's say they're doing work for Company Co. Somebody at Company Co. needs to come in and see their project files that they're working on. Within Company Co. they have projects. But at this company level, they need to give people external to the company permissions to access it. So they currently have one SharePoint site where all this document libraries exist. If they weren't going to get complicated, let's say they kept it super, super simple, and they had just the one SharePoint site and the one document library, how would they share out that folder so someone external to the company could come in, but the person wouldn't have permissions to the HR files or the accounting files or the sales and marketing files, but just the project work files?
So there's a couple of ways to approach that. One of the ways is to create a special group in the Active Directory for those external users, and give that Active Directory users access only to a specific client or a vendor.
So what I'd have to do is actually set my client up on our server.
Exactly. So
I probably wouldn't give him a unique name. I'd probably give him a generic name that company could log in.
So for instance, you could just give them, you could create a company account, right? If there is one user that accesses on the company behalf at one point or another, and then that would be the company user, and they access that particular resource on your intranet. Another way to do it, a little more secure way, is to use an extranet. Right? So in that case, you have your intranet, right? And then you have a separate site, which is your extranet.
Now that might scare the guy I work with, because he's going to be like, oh my gosh, another server.
Extranet?
Another server behind the firewall, outside the firewall. You're scaring the bejeebies out of me. I just want it simple. So, but is it really that complicated when you're saying extranet?
It's all it is you're right. It's a separate setup. It can be a separate web application that has it's kind of like your replica, or not really a replica, but another site just like your intranet. Or what you could use one of the online hosting solutions, such as Microsoft SharePoint Online, or also known as BPOS, Business Productivity Online Suite. So with that option, you have access to invite your users to the site, and then basically place your client-related information on that site. And it's pretty useful because you don't have to host external users in your AD, and they live in the cloud.
And now they're logging in with their live ID account.
Using their live ID account.
And you can set up a live ID account in like 5 minutes.
Exactly. Like usually people have that, right? So the password, if I forgot my password type of thing, it reduces the help desk calls if you have help desk, right? At that level.
And with Microsoft, with my internal install of SharePoint, I pay an Active Directory license. And if I went with SharePoint in the cloud with the live ID,
Yeah.
It's something like $5 a user.
Really. It depends what plan you're giving them, but you can get it for as little as $5 per user per month.
So I could just set them up and deactivate them after the project.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can just manage them through online interface and.
So what I'm hearing right now is, if I'm a mom and pop company wanting to share files with my client externally, so I don't have to email them shop drawings if I'm an architect, or financial statements if I'm an audit firm, or legal documents if I'm a law firm. What I'm hearing you say is I got three options. I could keep everything in my existing SharePoint install, add the user to my server in the company, and then set permissions for a particular directory to let them access it. Option two is I could set up a separate extranet instance of SharePoint on in-house, and then set the permissions just on that for project work, and I'd probably keep HR, marketing, admin, sales stuff over here. Third option would be I use SharePoint Online, which they call BPOS.
Right now, and it's going to be called Office 365, or it is called right now, but it's in beta right now, so it's going to be available. It's the next generation of BPOS.
Okay. Most people think SharePoint Online. But,
Exactly. It's easier to pronounce.
Good. Okay, well that's really simple then. So it's not as complicated as I thought.
It's not,
No, but probably still want someone like you to come in and set it up.
Yeah, probably, Although if you go with the third option, you can...
The third option is easy enough to set it up themselves.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then they could be working externally with clients on the
There's
fly.
actually a trial for this, so for those of you who are watching the video, you can go to SharePoint Online and then try it for yourself.
And get a free trial.
Yeah.
Oh wow, very cool. Okay, that's great. What else would I want to know? Why wouldn't I use Google Docs? I wouldn't use Google Docs. You know what? Google Docs is the way I collaborate with all my friends on stuff, and with my family, and sending stuff back and forth. And even internally with a few people here, I collaborate with our own company using Google Docs. But I'm sure the company wouldn't want me to put confidential client docs into Google Docs.
Yeah, and that's just it, right? So there's a security constraints that you might be worried about, and just overall experience that you get with SharePoint. You don't just get docs, right? You can have calendars, you can have announcements, kind of a little bit of workspace around, not just documents, right? Because you don't know how you're going to evolve in the future and what you're going to offer to see for your clients. So that gives you kind of a bit of a more option. Okay, cool. 3 options. Very nice. I like it. Awesome. Hey, Yaroslav, where can people find you on the net? So I work at Knowledge Tech and also my blog, sharemuch.com. Okay. Yeah. And I'm rondetucci.com, and I also work at Knowledge Tech. Thanks. Thanks.